Oh, there's no song?
Nope, not for another 2 weeks.
Well, then I guess we just have to do the good old-fashioned...
No, he gets paid to do a song. That's his one job.
No, now he's just eating
paid.
nuts.
I don't get paid.
I get paid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody, to the Ramblecast.
Okay.
Good evening.
Brought to you by Planters Cashews.
It's nuts. Maybe it's hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ramblecast. It's your good friends, Nick, Jack, Chris, and Matt. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever we do, we talk about shit. Yay.
Yeah, let me bring up the Yahoo. I mean, the
Matt, that's your best song yet.
Thanks. I was riffing on a Jay song, an old Jay classic. So,
and welcome to the Ramblecast.
Now that Matt's done, I had a question for you, Nick. Those Planters cashews, are they good?
Oh yeah,
because we got a box with the like, individual bags, and there's like, I'm like,
Well, like I get the whole cashews can.
Okay.
And those, yeah,
that shit's like $20, dude. You're a baller.
I
can afford the little snack packs that Jack's referring to. I can't go for the whole tub.
So what you're saying is, since I'm poor, just be lucky I'm having any cashews at all. That's what you're saying.
My patron's money pays for my cashew habit.
Oh, okay.
Well, so does mine. That's why my cashews suck.
I get the extra fancy kind from Costco. It's like $15. Tons of cashews, Brazilian nuts, walnuts, pecans, and hazelnuts every now and then. So it's a pretty good blend.
Do you know what they call Brazil nuts in Brazil?
Nuts.
Just nuts.
Is that the one that has that one? Is it the almond? Because I like almonds, but
there's almonds in there too.
There's something in there that you go, and there's always like a lot of them. It's like almost like the Chex Mix.
I always feel like there's too many cashews in the extra fancy one. I'm like,
you can never have enough cashews.
I'm more macadamians, more.
Yeah, I can see that.
You ever seen a cashew plant? It's kind of wild.
It's weird, yeah.
No.
I've only seen a cashew, walk around. I've never.
I just figured it came from a factory. I didn't know it was an actual plant. Anyway, these cashews we get, I told Cindy, I go, they're just there.
No, these are good.
I can tell,
but
you're hailing up.
What is it you'd like me to share there, Chris? You got it pulled up. Okay, here we go.
Oh, the plant, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it actually looks like a face.
It looks like a Smurf house.
Yeah.
It looks like an apple taking a shit.
Yeah.
It looks like an angry pepper.
That's what I was gonna say. Doesn't it look like it's like they're like big hats?
It looks mean. Yeah.
You should think like that one jar that Matt or that Nick is eating right now came from this one tree.
Yeah, that's what I think I've talked about this before. If you're like a grocery store, like I'm at Wegmans and I'm watching all the fruit and stuff like that. I go, and people are just grabbing I go, how many farms, how many places are there left that grow the stuff? Maybe that's why there's shortages. I don't know. But you're looking at this cashew plant, and like you said, it takes a whole tree.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, that was my stomach.
Oh,
Matt's laundry
cycle.
It's done.
Matt just got rid of his cashews.
It's all gone. Just clean and brown. It's like, hey, we almost made it a full 5 minutes without a poop reference. Like last week, we were doing so good, and then it just went the whole conversation.
Hey, my son pooped today.
Did he?
Big deal.
Did he start talking more?
No, but like
every time he takes a shit,
his vocabulary expands by 30% every shit.
Dad.
No, but he started getting backed up again. So like the last 5 days.
Was he like Jack over there going like, I didn't eat any corn? What the hell?
No, I started spiking his applesauce with Miralax. That worked. Doctor's orders. Yeah, that stuff's amazing.
He's going to come back some days. fuck you and that Miralax. I'll get you back.
Well, no, it needs to be thanks, Dad, because he was sitting there just
happy.
His stomach was just getting.
Dad,
He's just so full of shit.
Dad, you like chocolate pudding? Here you go. Here's some chocolate pudding. Sure, it's chocolate pudding. They always come back to get you.
So he pooped. He's in a much, much better mood today than he was this morning.
Speaking of little kid stuff, so I think
wait. Do you really want to go with this?
Yeah. So we've been watching the show Bluey.
Yeah,
Chris.
Yeah,
Chris. We talked about Bluey.
Yeah.
And
dude, honestly, like the music on that show is phenomenal. It's really
so
good.
Stuck in my head right now.
It's so good though. Like it's actually legitimate music.
Yeah.
Keepy Uppy. The song Keepy Uppy is like a banger. It should be on the top 40.
I've seen 1,000 of those episodes, but I don't think I've seen one all the way through.
There's 100.
I think I've seen it because every grandkid we have likes Bluey.
Yeah. It's
also, was it Doc McStuffin? Is that it?
Fuck that show.
Now,
oh my god.
Because Alex, we had the Gladfelter boys this weekend, and we're sitting there. And I walked in after the episode started, and it turns out that Doc McStuffin is this girl that she's a doctor. She has to save Christmas because Santa Claus is unavailable. So I said, "Wait, hold on a second. Where the hell is Santa Claus?"
He didn't get
my
vaccinated.
My wife is they're like going, "What does it matter?" I go, "Dude only works one day out of the year, and it's the same day." It's the 24th every year. He's got to work. Okay, it's a long day, but where's he at? My wife goes, "Why do you have to ruin everything?" I go, "Why am I ruining it?" I go, "Where's he at?" No, and nobody could. And they showed up the last day. Well, thanks, Doc McStuffin, for helping me out. We got one more delivery. It's like going, what a stupid show. Anyway,
but Bluey, though, I do enjoy it. There's some really funny adult things. It's entertaining enough for both kids. I mean, my kids are much older, and we watch it as our wind down show. Like, all right, another good wind down show, if you have HBO Max, is The World of Calm. I don't know if you've seen that show, but it's called A World of Calm.
Mm-mm.
And it is
soothing?
It is very.
There's a porn version of that too.
No, it is very soothing, and each episode focuses on like kind of a different environment, and it's narrated by famous actors talking very soothing and in a very calm way, and it's very spaced out. Well, Keanu Reeves does one about a woodworker, which is really cool. So
no Morgan Freeman, no James Earl Jones.
This is such a calming thing.
Or what's his name? Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
No, I think
we need A-list voiceover.
I think Idris Elba is on one of them.
Okay.
Lucy Liu is on another one.
Well, Idris has a great voice.
Look, I'm not saying that. Look, the cast doesn't matter. It's what they it's what they show you, because
the visual. Calming, I guess it does matter.
No, I mean it's just watch it. It's visually calming, and the music that they play.
I can't imagine Keanu Reeves being calming.
I think there's just like we're constantly bombarded by more stuff and stuff that keeps our like. This is meant to like relax your mind as you watch it. And
so, what kind of stories are there? Are they?
It's not stories. It just kind of. I mean, it does follow something, like, but there's like an episode all about like making chocolate. There's a whole episode about making noodles. There's a woodworker. There's a glass blowing one. And they show imagery.
Which one did Keanu Reeves do?
He's in the woodworking one. I can't remember if that's trees. It might be trees. But they show images of other things as well. And anyway, I just highly recommend it if you're looking for something to relax. You don't know what to watch at night.
It sounds amazing, and perhaps maybe instead of being so combative with all of us every week, maybe you should watch an episode before we record. I mean, just saying.
What's the fun of that?
Yeah, that's what Keanu would do. He'd go, "Welcome to the Ramblecast. I'm an FBI agent."
Okay, sure. I've got nothing to say. I was trying to talk about it without Jack shitting on the show before I got.
I was asking questions about it.
Yeah, it was very. If anybody needs to watch it, it's this guy over here, Mr. Daaaaddy.
Yeah.
So, But why would you ask, Chris? Why? Or maybe the question shouldn't be why The Last Man, but how?
So, okay. So going back like 10, 12 years ago, I think is when I first was introduced to Why the Last Man, the graphic novel. And it was awesome. I loved it. It was one of those things where I remember when I was reading it, I was living in an apartment. It was actually right, I think, after I got married. So yeah, it's probably a good 10, 11 years ago. It's this amazing graphic novel about this guy named Yorick, and he's got a pet capuchin monkey, and he's an escape artist. And crazy randomly one day,
the pet monkey is the escape artist?
No, he is. He's a sidekick.
I'm glad you asked that, Nick. I didn't want to get yelled at. So
yeah, but the some randomly one day there's like some crazy disease that literally kills every man in the world instantly.
The monkey should have wore its mask,
except for Yorick. And so he wakes up in like this post-apocalyptic world, and it's all overrun by females. Like everything is all run. There's all these crazy like marauder clans and like governmental, outfits of like it's all women, and it's a really great story. And there was always rumors that the show was they're gonna make a show from the graphic novel, and it never ever came to fruition. And for the longest time, that was a great one. I was watching Chuck when Chuck was in its heyday. I can only envision Yorick being played by Zachary Levi. So like when I would like read the comic books, I would think of Zachary Levi. And the early on rumors was he was actually going to play the lead role in a few of the versions that never made it to screen. But it finally got made. It's airing on FX, I think it is, through Hulu, or if you have subscribed to FX, your cable news network or whatever. But it's a live action series, and I was able to watch the pilot episode, and it was really kind of cool to see like they definitely took some liberties from the book or whatever, but it's a pretty accurate setup for what the series potentially could be about.
Yeah, so as I say, is Zach Levi is not in it.
No,
okay,
no.
Well, that's just
Diane Lane is in it, which is interesting. Very interesting casting. But I watched the first episode. It was slow as fuck. But knowing the story, it has to be.
Did you watch beyond the first episode?
No, I haven't had a chance to.
So I binged this the other night because I've been curious about this. I've never read the graphic novel. I've been curious about the graphic novel ever since Lost, because Brian K. Vaughan, he was a writer that wrote a couple episodes of Lost, and I was always curious, like, like he did this comic book. Like I was very curious about it. So I binged the first 3 episodes, which are on Hulu right now. And I mean, I gotta say, like, it was a little rough getting through some of that, just because, well, we've lived through a pandemic. So some of the things that they're showing is like, yeah, it's pretty close to fucking home, like everything that happens. Of course, it's a lot more bloody. So, like Trigger, if blood or gore is like one of those things that you just don't want to deal with, like you might not sit down to eat some spaghetti and watch this show. I'm just saying, like, especially the pilot. But
yeah,
I was intrigued enough to stick with it through the second episode, and I felt like it really started to open up. By
are all the episodes up? Are all the episodes up?
Not all of them. They come out every Monday, and Hulu with their new plan of releasing an episode is working, because it's got me hooked on this show now.
I think there's 4 episodes posted now.
Well, they've been doing that for a while.
Oh, is there 4?
Yeah. 3?
I thought there was 3. I thought there was 3 because I binged what was available, and then that was
I could be wrong. Happens from time to time.
But new episodes every Monday, and then the other show that's on Hulu that they're doing this weekly release every Tuesday, and I got at least one of us hooked.
I thought it was on Monday. I thought those were releasing on Monday as well.
I think those are on Tuesday. I thought it was on Tuesday. So,
but yeah, Matt recommended week before last that we watch Only Murders in the Building. And so I gave it a shot. I watched 2 episodes one night, and then the next 2 the next night. And yeah, it's a very good show. It's nice to see Martin Short and Steve Martin together again. always good chemistry.
Is it silly?
It's a mix.
It has definitely funny moments in it, but it isn't. I feel like it doesn't take itself too seriously, and yet it presents everything in a very serious manner. And I think the best thing I could say about it, as I commented on the Facebook group about it, is that I think what's really truly unique about this show, if you watch the pilot and you're a fan of Jay and Jack, I mean, this is why we this is why we are listeners and podcasters, is because the first pilot episode, it's talking about, it's more true crime podcast based, but still the idea that characters come together around a podcast and it kind of spurs.
I think we can kind of spoil that. It's not,
I
don't feel like that's too big of a spoiler.
But it's neat because so in the pilot episode, you're one at a time introduced to these people, especially Steve Martin. He's what you would call a recluse, but also a bit of a snob in a way. And he does, like you see, like Martin Short, like hold the elevator, and he's over there hitting the button, and like close, and then he comes in. Yeah, exactly. And then Selena Gomez comes in. They're all on the elevator. More people would pile on, and Steve Martin's just annoyed with it. And then, sure enough, as soon as he gets to his apartment, he wants to listen to this podcast, to unwind from the day. And then the fire alarm goes off, and like anyone, like, God damn it, and so he goes to like the local restaurant, pub, or whatever, gets a table, and he's listening to the podcast. And sure enough, Martin Short comes in, and he's like notices, he's like, oh my God, you're into the podcast I'm into, and then Selena come over this, like, so like they have a friendship from this podcast, which then it evolves in the next scene into what the whole plot of the entire show is. And it's a good show.
And I don't feel like we're giving anything away at this point. Like, hopefully it's enticed you a little bit to watch this show if you haven't already. I know many listeners are already kind of picking it up, or maybe just getting around to watching it. But again, great chemistry, and there are some very well written lines that kind of stuck with me that I really wanted to. It's a show that I wanted to go immediately back and rewatch the episodes that were out to see what I missed, and also some of the lines, like
reeks of your days of ABC or whatever. Yeah.
CBS. That's the line that stood out to me. I love that line. Is that that just reeks of the days of your CBS? Yeah, that's so good.
But yeah, it's a good show, and I forgot what I was. Oh, and then like Matt and I both like any murder podcast, you always kind of have who you think is the killer. And Matt and I both, I think, have very, very interesting ideas of who the killer is, and it's
you're gonna catch up.
Yeah.
I don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah, we won't spoil you. We've already shared and maybe at some point if the rest of you guys catch up, and it's like potato chips though, because it's like a 30 minute show. I think it's 30 minutes, and it goes by.
How's Selena Gomez as
she was. I agree. Like, she was questionable. I was like, wow, like you have two veteran actors. Yeah. And then Selena Gomez, and she actually does a decent job. Like, I haven't winced or anything. I haven't been like, ooh, like she actually is believable.
That's what shocked me too. I'm thinking the same thing. Martin Short, Steve Martin, Selena Gomez. How did she get in the mix? Because she just did Disney before, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying she can't act. I've never really watched her or anything. My first thought was, okay.
There's definitely one episode where she wears a pair of pants that she should not have worn.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, it is like there's always a wardrobe where like someone is questionable. I mean, it could be man or female, but like in this one episode, I'm like going like, who chose that for that character?
Is it like going sledding with jeans on?
It's pretty much.
Man. I didn't wear the jeans. I had snow pants on. So I like how Chris
20 minutes and 17 seconds for the first blue jeans reference.
I already said it was a shitty podcast. So.
I keep forgetting there's a timer right there too. I have to look at my watch.
It was like 1901, I think. So.
We did get some feedback about the show. There was an email that came in just right kind of after I think we recorded our last episode. This came in from someone named Adam. It says,
"Hey Adam,
what's up, Adam?
Hey Adam."
The title of the email is Heels. Hey guys, just wondering if you have seen this show yet. I think it's incredible. Hope to hear your opinion soon. I'm always far behind on your show, but never miss an episode. Currently on episode 94. Yeah, Das Boot was finally watched. Well done, Chris.
Thanks, man. I made it. I did it.
I'm always
only a year and a half or so later.
By the time you hear this episode, I'll probably be 50 years old.
I'll be dead.
By the way, we're on episode 141, just in case anybody's keeping track.
I did not realize it was that many. Okay.
He writes.
Adam, right?
He writes.
Adam is pacing himself.
He says, "I'm always behind because of there being so many good podcasts these days. Any other recommendations? Cheers, Adam from New Zealand." So,
I can't
thanks,
think
Adam.
of any.
I mean, there was a time where I was really into lots of different ones. Depends on what I'm doing in my job. Like when I was in LA, I listened to a crap ton of them because I could just sit there at the desk and just do routine work while I'm listening. But now I don't have that option.
Yeah, I have grandkids, so I can't listen to anything.
I've been doing a lot of audio podcasts. And Jack, there was a sweet period of time where when I had my kids and they were at a certain age, I could get away with a podcast here or there. But now they're at an age, at some point they get to a point where you're like, no, I got to listen. I got to hear them. So you can't just ignore them.
For a while, I was listening to what's his name? Joe Rogan. And then I realized
COVID, and you just dropped
it was. I couldn't bear to listen to it anymore. It was so weird how he his show pandered to his sponsors and a lot of other bullshit. So I stopped listening to Joe Rogan. But a complete 180 to Joe Rogan is Bob Saget's podcast. Bob Saget has a podcast called Bob Saget's Here for You, and he claims it is the number one podcast by a comedian ever. But it's actually a really cool podcast where he kind of goes on and just talks about his past as a comedian, kind of coming up through the ranks and going into doing television shows, so forth and so on. And he brings people on from his past, like he brings on all different cast members of Full House. He brings on tons of other comedians come in and just talk, and it's actually very, very cool to hear that side of him. So it's kind of
does he talk about it? Does he talk about his cocaine habit and what he did to get cocaine?
Dude, that's one of the most underrated movies ever.
I love Half Baked. Yeah,
so good.
Real quick, just to parry with one last feedback that counters Adam's is on Facebook. Just a couple days after Adam's email, we had a post from Riley Thomas who says, Ramblecast has been on fire last few episodes.
Oh,
hilarious.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing what you do. So thanks, Riley, for being more current than Adam. And
and thanks for being able to hear this feedback to your feedback this week.
Yeah.
So thanks for posting that. We appreciate that.
Randy put has 3 podcasts that are listed, and one's Film Spotting, which is a very good podcast. By the way, I used to listen to it but it always cracks me because I think it was like our second year of podcasting. We're starting to gain some traction, and somebody sent us an email saying, "Stop with your blankety shitty goddamn podcast. You need to listen to Film Spotting because they know how to do it right. You guys suck." It goes on how great Film Spotting was, and so
it was signed by Randy.
Yeah, it could have been. But every time I see Film Spotting, I that email comes right back at me. I go, but we don't talk about films. That's the thing that I responded back to. Anyway,
I think it depends on what you're into. Because I used to if it's something like our podcast, I always like the half-hour happy hour, which is just 3 to 4 people just talking shit. But then I think Matt and I listened to 99% Invisible back in the day. I'm not sure. No, nope. But that's a good one as well.
I was like, who the fuck is that? What? Nothing. I just okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, but 99% Invisible was good too because it was like a different topic every episode, but something that you're like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Like if you like just random things and let's just talk about whatever. And then I know Matt and I. What was the podcast though that we listened to about the McDonald's French fries?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. I was just.
But yeah. Anyway.
Is that one where the guy ate McDonald's every day?
No. This was a podcast where he chose just like once again, it's random thing. Malcolm
Gladwell, and it's revisionist history.
Revisionist history.
And he'll go back, and he'll take everything from a photograph, and he'll break it down and dissect it. He's talked about like California like property law. He'll talk about just about anything, but he really dissects it in a very interesting and intelligent way. So that is one that I enjoy.
The one that Matt and I though really geeked out on, which I think is the best episode he did. Mm-hmm. And you have to be a certain age and a certain generation to really understand that podcast. But he gets into McDonald's French fries and why they were so good, and how basically after 1990 they changed the formula and they've never been the same since.
No, never.
You can almost taste it when you listen to that podcast.
Yeah, because if you remember how good they were, you're like, oh my God, yes, And it's
but I think I've said this before. When we were in Switzerland, they made a big deal about eating French fries. I'm like, okay, bring the damn French fries. They were like old McDonald's French fries.
Wow.
It was like crack. I was, oh my God, these things are so goddamn good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like but yeah, McDonald's French fries now are like, I mean, I get them, but it's good. But it's not like the days you could just get like big tons of French fries because it was so good.
They were amazing.
But
now they were bad. They were bad. It's like the apple pie they used to have.
Yeah.
It used to be great. Now they have this. It's just an apple pie.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it really was like a hot pocket.
Yeah.
It's all it was.
Just fucking lava. Is what it was.
Awesome,
like
so good.
But it was great.
But I used to always kind of laugh though when you're at McDonald's because you're going through the drive-through. You're like, I'll have a number one, with whatever, and then like they're like, would you like an apple pie with that? And you're like, did I order an apple pie, jackass? I don't think it did. But
it's called the upsell, man.
Yeah,
trying to upsell the extra 99 cents. Or actually, back then it was like 69 cents.
Yeah.
I actually had McDonald's today.
I think you're talking about cherry pie.
I had a Big Mac for the first time in like 10 years.
Well, hold on a second. He just had a Jack joke.
I totally get that, Chris. Like, I never ever eat Big Macs, but like when COVID hit, like a lot of the fast food and all the industry was like worried that no one was going to go out to eat anymore. And
Big Macs cure COVID.
But McDonald's had for like 3 months.
Killing you with diabetes first.
You're right. But McDonald's had like a deal for those first few months because they were trying to get people to come. Where it was like 2 Big Macs, 2 large fries, 2 drinks,
one shot of Pfizer.
Yeah, one shot of Pfizer. Yeah, for like $8.99. You're like, I can't mess that up.
You can't force those Big Macs on me.
Well, you secretly put the Pfizer in the meat.
But you forget how Big Macs are good. But you don't want them all the time, but they are good.
They're really good. Like it's been a solid 10 years since I've had a Big Mac. And don't get me wrong, that's not me saying it's been 10 years since I've been at McDonald's. I've eaten a lot of fucking McDonald's over the last 10 years.
Well, that Big Mac from 10 years ago is probably still with you.
It's probably still there.
You're still trying to shit. No, I said a couple weeks ago I was never a Big Mac guy. I was the Royale with cheese. Royale with cheese guy.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, I'll get a Big Mac. And now it's like every time I go there, I gotta have a Big Mac.
Wait, did you just call it Royale with cheese?
Royale with cheese.
Quarter pounder. Yeah.
Quarter pounder with cheese.
Okay, are you making a Pulp Fiction reference, or is that actually what you called it?
That's what he's calling it. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Pulp Fiction reference. Yeah.
I always call it Royale with cheese because that's
just
cooler than saying quarter pounder with cheese.
You know what I like to call it? A commercial break.
It's true. If you ever,
I just like to rip it in there
and rip it right out.
That's what usually happens when you have a Royale with cheese,
or those White Castle sliders.
We don't have a White Castle here.
So speaking of fast food, I have a little bit of knowledge about the Taco Bell subscription. You guys hear about this thing?
No.
The Taco Bell is Taco Bell is actually trying to pilot a subscription program where you get if you pay like X amount of dollars, I don't know how much it is, but you get like free tacos every day. You walk in, you get like a free taco, and you just walk in whenever you want. But somebody did the math and broke it all down, and they said that if you wanted to make this subscription worth it, you would literally have to eat at Taco Bell like 200 plus days a year to actually get your money back.
And you would have to worry about COVID.
or life, really. Life itself would just lose all meaning. I just imagine
colonoscopy at 45 for that.
You don't need a colonoscopy. Yeah, it's all cleaned out.
Seriously.
So, except for the gristle. The gristle is going to get in those polyps and just hang out there for a while.
Well, it depends on what kind of flour. If you get the flour tortilla or the corn tortilla, right?
I like to mix it up. Sometimes I like corn. Sometimes I like the flour tortilla.
I'm just saying.
There was one thing about our taco talk a couple weeks ago that I didn't get a chance to say, but just one block from us, we actually have a food truck that shows up here in our small town of Franklin. And it's a taco food truck, and it is amazing. Their steak tacos are so good.
Now, the steak tacos made out of the squirrels that you captured in.
No, I don't even want to think about that. Thank you very much.
I'm just saying.
I released them far away,
You took them from their families. I know. I get it.
It's probably meat from that place that's right next to the gas station. I shared that on our Owen Brews private chat, but there was this. I was driving to work the other day, and I was like, "Why is there a big inflated balloon that shows a big steak?" And why is there a little steak shack here it was something about 12 ribeyes for so much, and then you get free jumbo shrimp. And it's right next to the gas station. It's the worst place to advertise your meats.
That was literally the most unappetizing display.
Am I right?
I've ever seen in my life.
It's so gross.
Fucking love steak.
Well, there's an episode of Scrubs like that where a guy comes into the emergency room, and he's got some intestinal virus, and he's and Dr. Cox is like, "What'd you eat?" He's like, "Sushi from the fill up." And they're like, he's like, "It was free with so many gallons." He's like, "What am I not to do? What am I not supposed to do? Not eat it?" He's like, "Yes, don't eat it."
Sushi from the gas station sushi.
Yeah, exactly.
People will eat it.
Yeah. You know who actually has really good sushi is my local grocery store, though. They actually have a sushi bar where they make it. I think they do the same thing at Whole Foods or whatever. But that's actually really good, and it's not fucking cheap. That's fucking hysterical.
12 ribeye. You see, at least it looks like a heart, though, doesn't it?
So for those listening at home, which is most of you, there's a fucking 25-foot tall ribeye steak blow up. 12 ribeyes or T-bones or 5 T-bones for $24.95.
Big and thick.
Shrimp.
That's a good price,
get 2 free jumbo shrimp. 2 free jumbo shrimp. Yeah.
So hold on. Where is it? This is in Indiana.
Free.
Yeah.
Get 2 free shrimp. What the hell?
So no. You could not get further away from the natural habitat of shrimp than you are in the country right now. So something about getting free jumbo shrimp.
Plus, how long have they been sitting in that trailer? Those
exactly.
Right?
I don't know, but I got to tell you where specifically in Indiana this was at. This was in Whiteland, Indiana, which sounds so.
Of course it was.
By the way, the Whiteland team, the high school team, their mascot is a warrior. So every time I see these Whiteland Warrior T-shirts, it's just so weird because it's got the mascot of the Native American. It just says Whiteland, Indiana. Yeah. It's such a juxtaposition of all of these weird things.
Someone was like, yeah, this is a good idea to have this printed on a shirt. Let's go.
So anyway, I'm sure all of our Indiana listeners.
How long have they been called the Whiteland Warriors?
I don't know when they switched over to Warriors, but it's been a while because longer than the other Washington team.
Well, you look at the Washington football team. How do they still not have a fucking name? How hard is it to pick a fucking name?
The Cleveland. It's called the Cleveland Browns.
It's like we're playing a football video game for Nintendo back in the day that didn't have NFL rights. So they had all the generic teams.
Yeah.
We're going to play the Boston footballers against the Washington football team.
I get that they were the other name for 80 years, whatever it was, but it's been a year and a half, and they knew this.
Yeah.
And plus they knew it was coming. It wasn't
right.
It was Tuesday and all of a sudden Wednesday. Hey, we got to change our name.
Maybe they're not going to.
This was a common topic.
They had like six. They had like 6 names, and they were
this,
all done.
And this was a common topic that you and I talked about when we did Sports Talk because
I said they got to change this name. It's wrong.
I also did a lot of like Native American studies at the time.
I'm still behind the Washington lobbyists. It makes the most sense to me.
I just think it should be a color at this point.
One name they did have red something. It was red. I don't know.
Oh, the Red Tails.
Was it Red Tails or something?
Yeah, they were doing it for the 332nd of World War II pilots.
I mean, yes, their team sucks. Let's face it. They lost to the Chargers, but I don't know.
Ding.
You're the only person that's upset that a team that you once followed won. The rest of us, our team's all lost.
I told you my favorite team is a team playing against the Chargers.
Well, I don't know. Chris probably was rooting for the Bucks.
No.
Oh, okay. I was surprised that they pulled off the win there. Okay, let me rephrase that. I was surprised the Cowboys were playing a game. It was like they were so well rested.
It's almost like Tom Brady was still in New England. You had that push off at the end that wasn't called. It was like, huh.
I read today that Jay-Z is going to be the majority owner of the Denver Broncos soon.
That's what he wants
really?
to do.
Yeah.
Huh.
Smart.
Wow. But he would be officially the first black owner of an NFL team.
No shit. Really?
Yeah.
And that's a good team.
That's awesome.
A team with a good history too.
Mm-hmm.
So
good history, good market.
Cool. There's not a lot of teams in the West, in the middle part of the West. Sorry.
That's actually something that pisses me off about a lot.
There's 3 in California. Oh, I guess they moved the one to
Las Vegas.
Nevada. So I guess there's one more there.
Yeah, you just have Phoenix and Denver, really. That's one of the things that pisses me off about like concerts in particular is that like a lot of people will skip Denver unless they just want to play at Red Rocks. Mm-hmm. And it's like you'll see like a tour of like the Rolling Stones and they're like LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, and then they'll go through Texas or something, and completely skip Denver, and you're just like, Austin. Fuck you.
That happened all the time in San Diego. It'd be like, hey, LA, like I go, wait, we're like the 8th largest city in the world, the United States. What just went on? Yeah, if you wanted to see your group, you had to go to LA.
Yeah,
which sucked.
Yeah. It would make me mad because like they would often play at the Forum, and I hate the Forum because it's just the acoustics, especially in the upper level, are horrible.
And the bureaucracy. Oh shit!
I did want to talk about something way off topic. I fixed our garbage disposal this weekend.
So Matt, do you have anything cool to talk about?
Sure, I do. This weekend, I didn't want to fix my faucet, but it still happened anyway.
Is it still leaking?
No, but I'm worried that it's going to come back.
No-ish.
So no-ish.
Well,
anyway, so you were.
This is more to people out here that have been idiots like me for their whole life. Because I get to the point where hit the reset button, and it just stops making any noise.
Did it do that?
It would do that, and then stop.
Oh,
and I'd get the broom in there and try to move things around. I'd reach in there, see if there's anything in there. I go,
did you try turning it with your hand to get it started?
No, I didn't do that.
Okay,
so but
you didn't try everything.
Well, then I go, just got to buy a new one. She goes, we just bought one. I go, I don't know. Crap falls in there for some reason. And, there's 2 people living here and one person's to blame for that, but I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, so I go, well, let me go on YouTube and see how to fix it. Maybe there's something I'm not doing right because I buy one like every 2 years.
That's not right.
I know. And I said,
they're like warranted for 30.
And so I go, shit. I'm tired of it. So they have this thing. It always comes with this, it looks like a 2-sided Allen wrench. And I always thought I never knew what it was for. So I have like 10 of them in my garage.
Just drop that into the garbage
disposal. No. So I went online. There's a thing underneath the garbage disposal. If you twist it, it kind of restarts the motor. And that's what it did. It restarted the motor. So if you're stupid like me and you've been paying $110 every 2 years for a new garbage disposal, take that little metal piece, that thing that looks like a 2-way Allen wrench, You just give it a couple turns, and there it goes.
Oh,
No
G
shit.
spot.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I go, what is this stupid? Why do they give you an Allen
Garbage
wrench?
spot.
There's no Allen wrench. There's no.
So I was super excited. My first house that we bought, I actually had a garbage. This is my first garbage disposal I've ever had, because I grew up in a house with septic, and you can't have a garbage disposal unless you have it connected to sewer, because you fuck everything up. So I put one in, and then we sold the house, and I was pissed because we don't have one here either, unfortunately. But I miss my garbage disposal.
I should be composting anyway, right? I should be.
No, I mean, it's so much easier.
It's more about the little bits, you know. Like I try not to put too much.
I'm just trying to think that I'm safe for the environment. I don't want people sending me that. But yeah, so YouTube, you can learn anything on YouTube, anything. So
Sure can.
One of my favorite throwaway lines from one of the Avengers movies is when Tony Stark's upset that they're putting coffee grounds in the garbage disposal. It's just he's just upset. Like, what are we, like uncivilized? Like, please stop putting. I don't know. I can't remember what the line is, but he says something about coffee grounds in the.
My only issue with the video was it was like 14 minutes long, and it only took 10 seconds for the part to explain it. But they go into this whole, they're trying to make it last, as long as possible. It has like 2 million views because they're advertising on it.
Right.
So I kept fast forwarding. Finally, I do have that tool. I have like 10 of them.
Because I bought 10 garbage.
Exactly. In fact, it's like every 10 years I walk.
Jack walks into Home Depot. They're like, "Hey, Jack, you see this year's model? It's a fucking winner."
I'm like Norm and Cheers. Jack!
Jack's on an auto subscription.
This one's got Bluetooth, man. It connects to your app. You can just sit at your couch and just play with the garbage disposal. It's got a little dial. You can change the color of it and the lights that come on the inside of the garbage disposal.
It's better than the Taco Bell subscription. I'm telling you that.
You were
no doubt.
You were literally dumping and grinding money up with this thing every day.
I don't know.
That's funny.
The only time I've ever had to replace a garbage disposal was I had a drunk friend come home, and I used to always have a cup right there when you come into the house that I'd throw my change in. And his drunk ass took the cup and just chunked all my change into the sink.
Oh.
And then filled it up because he was that drunk, and then drank out of this dirty ass cup that had change in for years. And then, of course, my dumb ass didn't know he did it. And then as soon as I turned on the garbage disposal, it's just like, all the pennies, all the nickels, quarters, everything just going around and like all locked up in the blades. And I was like, what the fuck?
Look at John, the UPS guy. The wrenches are loose and stuck items in the disposals in the instructions. Who the fuck reads the instructions?
I've got a whole box of instructions. It just sits there.
Because I'm telling you right now,
I got 4 copies of them.
I can replace a
I'm
garbage.
selling them on eBay in a garbage disposal lot.
I can replace a garbage disposal in my sleep.
So Sherry would like to know if we're going to go to the Raleigh meetup.
No.
Sorry, Sherry. Can't do it.
That's a no for me as well.
No for me.
So that's a no for all 4.
I'll probably go to the dinner, but I'm probably not going to be there too much because there's COVID going around. So.
Yeah, Jerry, I'll plan on going next year if I can.
I am a little nervous, but I have young
you do,
grandkids,
yeah, you
so
do.
Like,
you have young grandkids.
I got to be careful. So if people don't think that I'm being snotty, but
it is happening right around my birthday, and then on top of it, I just shameless plug for my birthday. Can't wait.
Now, is this year that you qualify for early Social Security?
I am definitely on AARP this year. No,
you can be an AARP any year. I think we've discussed this.
Oh,
before,
yeah, that's right. We did.
Because your daughter, you got your daughter on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can sign up right now.
Do it. No,
The
seriously.
largest lobbyist group in the United States.
Podcast right now and do it. So anyway, and then I'm teaching as well, and it's a very hard time. I'd have to
Well, if you wouldn't have scheduled the class at the wrong time,
I have so through my work, I had done you can sponsor a movie basically here in Franklin. And so I'm not even going to be able to go to the movie that I sponsored because I teach that night. So it's kind of it sucks, miss out on it. And the movie that we sponsored this year is Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. So
not bad.
I think Chris talked about this movie one time that he loved it.
Well, Breakin' is one of my all-time favorite movies.
That's what it was.
Breakin' 2 is the sequel. It's the Caddyshack 2 of the saga.
Damn, that's harsh.
At least Caddyshack 1 was a good movie.
Yeah.
I watched Caddyshack 2 ridiculously way too many times.
Yeah,
like I was probably like, oh yeah.
I don't think I got through the whole thing.
I think it was just one of those times where like my dad or my mom had HBO or Showtime and it was always on, or maybe I rented it and I just never wanted to return it. But yeah, I watched that movie way too many times.
It wasn't even worth the opening song HBO used to have to sit and wait for that show.
It didn't turn me into a big fan of Rodney Dangerfield though.
Yeah.
Back to Back to School.
Is he
right?
Is he in the second one?
That brings me back, Matt.
Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield's in Caddyshack 2.
Is he?
So yeah,
I think maybe Chris and I like, but
dude, that was awesome.
Ladybugs is what introduced me to Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, with what's his name? The kid that died.
Oh,
yeah.
Sequest,
yeah. Because I always remember that one joke.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah. I always remember that one joke from Ladybugs where him and his girlfriend are house hunting, and he's like, "Look at this house. We're so close together. If we start fighting, people start screaming, people will hear us. And then she's like, "We never fight." He's like, "He's talking about fighting."
Yeah, sometimes I'll go on YouTube and just watch his stand-up. It's so damn funny.
Speaking of stand-ups, it's like elephant in the room. We have to mention it here.
So, that's right.
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, that was a.
I didn't realize he'd been battling cancer for 9 years.
Nobody. He didn't tell anybody.
He didn't tell
his family.
No one.
Oh, he didn't tell his family?
No. Nobody.
Wow.
I saw him one time when I first moved to Los Angeles on the Santa Monica Pier because he's so freaking tall. You just spot him and you're like, "Oh, that's Norm Macdonald." I didn't talk to him or anything, but I just saw him. I was like, "Hey, there's Norm!"
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I kind of wish I would have talked to him now, but it's just like
one of my favorite comedies from like the 90s, 2000s era was Dirty Work.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a good movie.
Yeah. That was
definitely underrated.
Rewatched so many times.
Saigon whore that bit off my nose.
If you like pina,
it's so good. That movie is so great.
He had no filter. That's what was. I've been watching all these tributes to him, and they were showing when he hosted the ESPYs back in. It must have been like 80 because Ryan Leaf was. Drafted as a Charger, he was in the crowd, and he talks about who's the guy that won. He won the Heisman for defensive player. Forget who it was, but he says, "Yeah, the Heisman. They can never take that. You won the Heisman. They can never take that away from you, unless you kill your ex-wife and a waiter." And that was right. That was fresh. I mean, that was wasn't. When it happened, it was so funny, but I mean, not that.
I forget who it was. It's like Mike Myers or somebody that talked about Norm, how he just didn't give a shit, ever. He said there was one time where it was like some anniversary of NBC and like all the SNL cast.
Oh, Nick.
To kiss. Shit, I know I froze up. Basically kiss the ass of the NBC top executive or whatever, and it's like everyone was just kind of shaking their hands like, "Hey, thank you for coming," blah 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 blah. And then they get down to Norm, and he basically did the Jeopardy thing. It wasn't the Jeopardy thing, but it was like that, "Hey, I'm Turd Ferguson," kiss my ass, he's just like, "I will not bow to any sponsor." It's like, kiss my, and it's like it's such a Norm thing to do.
Well, he got in trouble didn't it? What they always give him a hard time in SNL for the Weekend Update
is for OJ because they kept telling him to stop making fun of OJ because he kept doing it every week, and that's why he ended up losing the anchor job because he would not stop doing it.
Well, I thought it was actually because some NBC, exec had seen him on one night, and he just did not like him at all. He just thought the whole thing was just bad, and he called up and and booted Norm Macdonald.
Dude, he changed Weekend Update like on its head though. Like
because I loved it when Norm Macdonald was on, and then I was crushed. It's actually, I was so hesitant when his replacement,
Colin Quinn.
Yeah, like
he was not good.
It was so hard too.
To be fair, he was replacing Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, but I mean, like it was. Yeah, it was difficult shoes.
Kevin Nealon was a snooze fest. He was before. Norm.
Yeah,
actually worked out with Kevin Nealon while we were in the same gym. But
I mean, I grew up watching the Dennis Miller, and then into Kevin Nealon, and then and I was okay with Kevin Nealon, but yeah, Norm Macdonald really, I thought, ignited it into something new again, something fresh. You know what I mean?
I didn't like anybody behind Chevy Chase.
I remember my stepdad hating Dennis Miller, and then it's so funny too because of like the politics behind it and all. And then
I thought Dennis Miller was always funny to me. I liked Dennis
Miller. I liked his. I still
remember when Vanilla Ice was on, and he made fun of Vanilla Ice as he bashed Vanilla Ice when he was the act. And he bashed him on the thing.
So many sex jokes that went over my head at that age. Just like, like what was that? I'm trying to figure out what that means.
I do like when Dana Carvey does Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
It's good.
Dennis Miller kind of went a little bit right-wing crazy recently, or I don't know recently, but he's a very controversial voice in the political landscape now.
I wanted to just mention
I used to listen to his podcast, but I never found it very. I always thought he was middle of the road. But
yeah, I mean, you're definitely right, Chris. And then he's a Republican, but I can't recall anything that's been radical about him.
Oh, I saw an article about him. I forgot what it was.
I haven't listened to him in a while.
Context than just a headline.
Yeah, but even like Bill Maher's been catching shit for the last month. And Bill Maher is liberal. He's always been liberal. He gave millions to Obama, but he's just calling it how he sees it.
He's a libertarian.
He's kind of a borderline libertarian. Bill Maher can be. There's definitely times where he's admitted that like he has some libertarian views, but for the most part, he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
He used to have great stand up because he was. I don't want to do the joke. I don't want to butcher it but he talks about being a Catholic and a Jew, and confession was always rough. He goes, "Yes, Father, I have sinned. Have you met my lawyer?"
Yeah, right.
So it was something like that. I know it's treading, lightly there, but.
I just wanted to.
Sherry says Rosanna Dana.
Yeah,
hilarious.
I just wanted to mention
still the funniest woman on the show.
That what Sherry had mentioned earlier in the chat that she had a breast cancer scare 6 months for 6 months and felt the same way about not wanting to tell anybody. So she says, "I didn't want to tell anyone but my husband. Wanted to stay positive." And
that makes sense. I mean, because
And Nick,
but before we move on from that, I hope it was just a scare, and nothing more than that.
I totally relate to that, and I think a lot of people do. Is the when something that you're facing seems so big, it's like, I don't know. It's not that we're bottling it up, but it's just like, I don't know. I
wouldn't want people.
It's hard. It's hard to ask for help.
Yeah.
And especially when everything's like swirling around you, or you feel like I shouldn't be asking for help. There's a duality there of like I should face this on my own, or if I do ask for help, like what will people think of me? And I don't want people to think of me like this, but then it's like also this vulnerability of you putting this out there. I mean, there's a whole line of emotions, at least that I relate to. Those people could approach it from a lot of different ways, but I definitely feel that. So
yeah, I mean, you started to read like what I said in response to that, and I was the same way. Like you have to be comfortable with it first, and you have to accept it and be comfortable who you are with any disease or any kind of thing. And that's why I didn't tell anyone for a long time that I was diabetic, because you do, like, people, especially if they don't understand a disease and you tell them, they look at you through a different lens, right. And then they go, "Oh, we really want to do this. Oh, we can't invite Nick because he's
unconscious
diabetic."
bias.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, no, like just ask me and I'll say yes or no. Don't try to view me through the disease. And people do that, and it's unfair both ways.
Yeah.
But nowadays I'm sure, like, especially my close friends, like, I can do everything you can do. I can eat what I want to eat. Like, just if I'm eating pizza, I just know I need to take a shit ton of insulin. Like it's fine.
This bitch just crushed a Big Mac the other day.
Right.
But at the same time, anybody who goes through that, I mean, if you're not making it public, at least make it important for you to get checked out early, so forth and so on, because I can't stress enough how important it is to be ahead of the game in a lot of those scenarios. I've had the blessing and the curse of both sides of that coin in my family, and I can tell you it sucks when you can't, and it's amazing. It's a miracle when you do. So,
well, I'm really glad that Sherry had felt the, I don't know, need to share that or the ability to share that, because I think it's I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, because I definitely.
I think there's some people want to share. I think they need the reassurance, and some people, like I said, like me, Sherry, I feel like I don't want people knowing. Like Nick, I don't want people bugging me about it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. I mean, it's like I'm good.
Anywho,
to change the subject, my son, you may know him.
I don't think so.
He has this YouTube channel called Geek Dad's Life. He talks about toys and stuff like this.
I thought it was Dad Life Geek.
What kind of toys? Adult toys?
No, he's not that cool.
Butt plugs.
Oh, those kind of dad toys. Gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway,
are they He-Man
that's
themed?
more of a daddy toy.
No, son, you can't play with my toy.
He-Man themed butt plug. It's got
Geek Daddy.
What if we just did like a mock kind of, like we did our own Geek Daddy Life, and
hey guys. You should see this new toy.
Oh, I like this one. It's so soft.
Daddy Life.
Get a Geek Daddy Life.
Spider just caught a fly.
If we make the episode title Geek Daddy Life,
I've already wrote it down. That's already what I did.
Would we get more subscribers? Would people be like, "Oh, it's related. It's a crossover." Anyway, Jack, you wanted to tell us something completely not related to that.
I'm cool with it.
Oh no, we're all cool with it.
Anything Matt's cool with it because it's not about him, right?
I am completely cool about that. Anytime that the focus is not on me, that is great. I'm worried that the commenter that said that the Ramblecast has been on fire or what have you is related to my own humiliation, and the fact that every title is something in the shitty that I said or relates to something about me.
We can make it about you if you want.
No. Geek Daddy Life. I love it. I'm ready to sell a whole line.
There probably is a crossover somewhere in there with some sheep.
Well,
they have toy sheep, don't they?
They do inflatables. That's right.
We've talked about the fact that they need to make superhero condoms before on this show.
Exactly.
And I still think that
that never got any love either. And I thought that was brilliant.
The fact that the Incredible Hulk would glow in the dark. I mean, boom. It's like
you don't want to see me when I'm angry. Yes, I
do. It's like it's wearing a pair of shorts that are already just ripped. At the collar, just.
I swear to God, this wasn't scripted. The whole Geek Daddy.
Fucking lower.
Get the Bruce Banner out.
Yeah. Well, and also, Matt Creed asked earlier if the show Image was related to our Why the Last Man conversation, and no, that was just completely spontaneous. So, no, John, the UPS guy, we're not making it. It's all about Matt. No, absolutely not.
No, everyone knows it's geek.
You know that there's one vote for that title.
The next verses I'm gonna put out there is just like, who should replace Matt on the RCAD? And
Matt should replace Matt.
Good stuff though. Geek Daddy Life. What is it that you want to tell us about your son and how he went
if
to California?
you reference Geek Daddy Life, you can't just say Geek Daddy Life. You gotta say Geek Daddy.
Daddy.
That's the next level.
Anyway, I think I was talking about. So anyway, I go check the mail the other day.
We're not getting paid this month, are we, guys?
Chris is still like really hung up on his epiphany of it needs to be Geek Daddy Life.
No, Chris Doran, not Sheep Daddy Life either. Okay.
No.
We have to.
Wait, no, time out.
To change it.
No.
Yeah. I think Chris Doran's on. It's up. Sheep Daddy Life. I think that's a great one.
No, it's got it. If
it's bad boy.
Fuck you, Chris. Okay. I thought you were cool, but you're not as cool as the other Chris's.
I warned you, Matt. I warned you. I'm gonna step aside and just let it happen next week. I'm not gonna defend you, and I'm not going to.
I'm not gonna end the show. You're just gonna have to leave.
It's a democracy here, right? Let's take a vote. Sheep Daddy's Life.
Sheep Daddy's Life? Why is it owning the life now? 3-1.
Just Sheep Daddy.
Sheep Daddy
Life. Sheep Daddy Life.
I hope my kids never listen to this.
Nick, that was perfect.
One day they're going to be like, I wonder what my dad's show is all about. And they're going to be like, oh, this one's actually maybe about his life on the show. It says Sheep Daddy Life.
Doran for the win.
The kids are gonna say, is that why I have curly hair?
And Nick for the fucking extra credit.
None of my kids have curly hair.
I think we said it at the same time. But...
Wow.
Well.
Oh, God, this is going to make my story seem like shit. But anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. What was the story about? Something?
Anyway, so I go check the mail.
I really wish we could do this meetup because it would be fucking awesome. But no.
Yeah.
Someday.
Timing this year is not in our favor.
Anyway, so I go check the mail and there's a package there for Jay. I go, why the fuck is Jay getting a package here? It doesn't make sense because he doesn't even get junk mail here. I'm like going, so I sent him a photo. I go, hey, you got a package here. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, so he texts me back. He goes, yeah, somebody that's one of my viewers wanted to send me something, and I didn't want him having my home address.
That's really viewers.
I go, WTF? I go, what the fuck? I go, so this guy could be a killer, and you sending him to our house? He goes, yeah, I realized
where your kids are gonna stay.
He goes, I realized after the fact, I probably should get a PO box. I go, what the fuck? I go. That's how.
Are they listening right now? Are they a listener of the network, or is just YouTube?
It's his YouTube channel.
It's on the Sheep Daddy Life side.
That's your podcast.
And you said it wrong, Matt. You said it wrong.
Yeah, I will always say it wrong. Always. And why can't it be Sheep Daddy Life?
No, it's no. Just try. Nick,
yes, nailed it.
Go ahead, Nick. Nick got it.
It's Sheep Daddy Life.
That would be a good. Hey, that would be a good T-shirt.
It would be. It would be a great T-shirt.
No, it would not.
We would make millions off that.
You guys would make millions off
it. We have Matt on a sled with blue jeans and have Sheep Daddy Life. That'd be the logo.
Good luck finding an artist that's going to draw that.
There's artists in the chat.
There's artists in the chat. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my son. He sent out
I picture.
So what was it?
I picture a.
I guess
it's a dildo. It was a dildo.
It's a book or something. I guess.
Wonder Woman dildo.
No.
I picture like the drawing of Jay behind Jack. You know, the muscular Matt with some jeans on and a sheep next to him. That's what I picture on the backside of the T-shirt.
Wearing in blue jeans.
Yeah,
that should be our new logo.
He's got his one arm on a sheep, the other arm on a sled.
Yeah,
wearing tight, skinny jeans.
Mm-hmm. And he's done.
Oh my God, that's funny. Anyway, that's my son's trying to get me killed, but there's no insurance money. So
No, it's actually Matt.
Yeah, it's Matt. Yeah, it's Matt.
It's actually Matt.
For fuck's sake.
He's gone, I guess, huh?
Yeah. He'll be back.
Wait, hold on a second. What's that painting?
I don't know that one.
It looks like I thought it was Caesar at first, but I guess not, right?
Oh, that could
Caesar
be.
It's so apropos.
got stabbed in the back. It looks like Rome, right?
That's definitely Caesar.
Yeah.
Getting whacked.
That's what I thought. Well, we did do the whole, like, me
Caesar,
and you.
Caesar was wearing blue jeans.
That's true.
Got stabbed. Right. I started watching.
I hope he's not mad.
Me too.
He's not mad.
I started watching something on. It was on.
Would we care?
I finished this
Yeah,
progress.
I'd care.
I don't care either. But I
said I would care.
it's just Jack and I. We're the assholes.
Yeah, we don't care. But Nick, you've probably seen it. It's a 6-part series on Lincoln. CNN did it. It's Divided We Stand.
I think I did see it actually.
Yeah, most of it. They talk about how it's a bunch of different experts talking about Lincoln and stuff like that, and they all say the same thing. And Conan O'Brien is one of the experts on Lincoln. I guess he's a Lincoln historian. But they talk about how Lincoln wasn't really about freeing the slaves.
No,
it was about
the Republican stance before the election was preventing it from spreading west,
from expanding. Yes,
from expanding. And the thing is, though, is that when you had a lot of states which were fewer than the northern states, it was a threat to their livelihood because that's what they did is they made it cotton and agriculture and then sent it to the north, but without the expansion of labor. And there's also a dual thing. You have a huge Irish migration into the north, which they cannot provide enough jobs for or pay.
Or enough beer.
Yeah, or enough beer. And so that was another thing. It was the huge lobbyists saying, like, we can't allow slavery to go west because then all this immigration will not be able to compete with slave labor. So it's a really complicated issue. And so that was the whole point. It's like not allowing it to go west. And then Lincoln even said that. Like, I'm not to talk about history. Sorry.
I'm enjoying it. Go ahead, Nick.
But
Chris.
Yeah, but that was the whole point. It was like even Lincoln said it during even during the war. It was like if I can bring the South back but keep slavery, I'll do it.
Well, he was very political.
That's all politicians. Yeah.
Well, he's a great politician. He was very. What am I drawing like?
Fuck you, Matt. I just read your comment.
Anyway, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, but I do like the fact that his mom. Do you know about his mom? The history about his mom?
I know a lot about moms, but yeah, not that one though.
Her maiden name was Nancy Dunn. And she grew up in Tennessee.
Okay. Well, he's born in Kentucky. I mean, I knew he was a Southerner.
Tell me you're not familiar with that mom, huh?
Yeah, not familiar with that one.
So I'm saying, any relation to you?
I doubt it because Dunn is a very popular name.
No, it's not. No, you're the only Dunn I know.
Are you serious?
So are you related to Lincoln? Is what I'm trying to say.
No, the Dunns are right around Dublin or mid Ireland.
Shit! We almost
Myrtle
lost
Beach up until like 1890.
I was just making it up. Her name was Nancy Hanks. I thought I'd get you upset because Lincoln.
Oh no.
I still like the fact that when he was going to his.
So you're deceiving me. You're lying to me like Lincoln. Okay.
I am lying. That he was going to his inauguration. That in Baltimore he had to get to Washington. There was the only train you had to switch over. That there were people there that wanted to kill him. I'm like, and yet he had no security.
Yeah,
it's just the way it was back then.
That's the way it was. Basically, there was no security up until I think around Truman. Like there wasn't. Yeah.
I
forget which president had the first one.
We
it's
don't
either
have
Eisenhower or It's either Eisenhower or Truman. The first time they had actually true like Secret Service.
But anyway, if you haven't seen
Eisenhower
it,
did meet with the aliens, so there was that.
It is on HBO's. Did he meet with aliens? Is that what's coming out?
Yeah,
everybody knows that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And
Indiana Jones introduced him to him. Yeah.
I didn't know that part. So
the first bald president, right?
I doubt that.
Yeah.
They all wore wigs. They covered it up.
I know.
No,
well,
Chris is so was the first president.
Yeah. His teeth were made of wool.
That is not true.
When you're munching on wool, it just gets stuck in your wooden teeth.
Apparently, you would know, huh?
Well, you're the expert.
I do podcasts with someone that has that issue.
I mean, the sheep daddy life loves to munch on some wool.
You know, I had to go.
I finally got over that joke. Don't bring it up again.
I finally got over it too, so took it out back. Sorry, I meant to say I took it out back.
Yay!
There you go.
All right. So we have one more email to read. It comes in if you
Star Wars.
It comes from that guy. Yes. We get this email.
He's going to be
from
gone
Randy.
He's going to be gone for 2 weeks.
You already read the fucking
No.
email?
He was in our Survivor chat last night. And he said he's going to
Oh, I see. Yeah, he was hard up on a Wednesday.
You better fucking pre-write those emails.
I know it's the best
drafts.
part of the show. Just throw them out there.
You were going to say sheep, weren't you?
No, I was not. Well, what I wanted to say is if you'd like to send us an email to the show, send it to rcadcast@gmail.com. Don't fuck it up. People will get confused. They'll be like, oh, I meant to send that to Matt at sheepmuncher.com.
I'm glad that you knew it. Yeah.
Well, I was looking at Randy's.
We should change it to sheep mail. I like that.
No. On with the show, Jack.
This is it.
Celebration. Hey guys, I have great news. Cue the music. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Sorry, I fucked it up there for you, Randy. But you're not gonna fuck this part up. I'm about to go away on vacation for 3+ weeks. 3+ weeks?
Damn.
I'll be totally incommunicado and cut off from the outside world.
You'll be like Adam. You'll need to catch up on the podcast.
Where are they going? The Amazon?
This means I won't be able to watch RCAD live. Yay!
Wait,
he put that in.
Oh, he put
in the actual
Randy.
thing, right?
Wow, Randy, that
I know.
hurts.
And yet he shows up. And this also means you will miss my weekly emails. Yay! Everyone wins.
Wait, did he say yay or is that you?
No, there's actually 3 yays in this entire fucking email. So,
okay, all right.
All right.
God, you're getting edgy.
But what? I don't know. Call somebody a sheep fucker long enough. I guess they'll get a little edgy,
I don't think we've ever actually called you a sheep fucker.
No,
we've just implied it. We've implied.
Okay,
So
I'll back you up on that. It has been implied.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. But just in case my absence is just too much to bear, I added that part. I'm submitting a number of quips and sage advice in advance.
Okay.
See you next month. If there is a next month. What are you doing, Randito? Signed Randito.
Randito?
Randito.
Did you just call it Randito?
They put Randito there. So
Oh, he did?
I don't know. Should I save some of these for the next podcast?
Yeah, save them. We got to spread them out.
I'm just going to do this one for this
Might
week.
need a
Right
sheep.
here. Dogs can't operate MRI. Dogs can't operate MRI machines, but cats can.
Yeah, I got that.
All right,
Not bad.
I like that. That's not bad.
and I'll read off the next one on the next episode.
Nice.
Have you guys seen that?
No. What I did see was Chris wanted this show to end in a tight hour because he's got a tight window in the morning.
I get it, but did you seen that
Like a
TikTok?
cheek tight, or
Have you seen
Virgin
that?
wool.
Have you seen that TikTok channel where the 2 guys do dad jokes back and forth?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Is that one that you sent us?
I think I sent you. No, did I send you that joke? No, I don't know if I did that or not. It's just there's this bad joke and they try to break each other up. It's
like a competition.
Right? Yeah.
I have seen that. Yeah.
And he was unimpressed.
I watched it for like an hour the other day.
Hey, whatever cheers you up.
I got grandkids driving me crazy. So what am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
They were bad. They were bad today. They were so whiny.
Were they just bad or bad?
They were bad.
The show is getting bad.
You know, anyone who's had kids and they're, you know, when your kids are whiny and it's like,
sure.
I'm like going, please God, help me.
Yeah, I'm kind of past that part, and I'm into more of the.
I was long past it. I don't know. All of a sudden now it's like circle of life.
So you know what I'm at today? I spent the day with my daughter, and much like many people in the show, she wouldn't just shut the fuck up for 2 seconds in the car.
That's kind of the point of the show.
Nick's right. It's a Ramblecast, and plus, I don't tell women they can't speak. So,
damn, that was the sickest burn I've seen all night. Enough to cook up this steak right here. If you'd like to help out this show, and we do appreciate that,
and why wouldn't you?
Go over to jandjack.com, click on the Patron link, help us out in whatever way you possibly can. So, or rate and review us on iTunes.
Don't be sheepish about it.
Send us an email about how much a Jack asshole can be to Matt on the show. We do appreciate it, and we'll read that.
What about like Nick? Give Nick some credit. And Chris.
No. Sorry. You interrupted my closing thing one too many times. So
I'm saving it. Go ahead.
All right.
I won't say another word. This is me being quiet.
There was an initial theme. I wrote these ahead of time. I know they're not great, but these are the patron names for tonight.
Cat Tack.
Damn.
See if you can find out the theme.
Trach Eckhart. Richter.
Body parts.
D-Ed.
Dirty deed.
Oh.
E-Gam Maggie. Nah, OJ Joanne.
They're forwards and backwards.
Did you do Ed?
Yeah, D-Ed.
D-Ed.
Okay.
Forwards and, yeah, you guys didn't like that. Okay, fine. Come back next week.
Interesting, though. No, actually, interesting thing is that everyone who's on our show or on our patron list has a name that can be actually pronounced backwards. That's actually kind of interesting. Like, how many names can you actually write backwards and not be able
to? What you were doing?
To speak it?
Yeah. This is E-Gam Maggie. I wrote them out in a way so that when Chris
I guess it didn't work. Yeah, you did. Okay, interesting.
You know,
John, the UPS guy, is actually eating a T-bone right now.
Oh, well, so I started working on tack bone steak, but I didn't get to the rest of the thematic stuff. So, because we're trying to keep it a short hour, and we did it. We did it, guys. It's only an hour and 20 minutes long.
We did it. We did it.
This was a great show. It was 1 in a million. Thanks for joining us live, everybody. We do appreciate it. Randy.
Yes.
Have a safe trip, Randy.
Have a safe trip.
Yeah. Have fun, man.
He's going to Mount Everest. Climbing Mount Everest.
Sick.
Really?
Nobody knows where he's going. I know where he's going.
I know
where he's going. Yeah.
Let's just take Everest and run with it.
Have a great trip. I hope it's 1 in a million.
He's doing it in jeans. He's gonna be the first person to climb Mount Everest in jeans.
I already tried to hit end, and it just didn't work. So
I'll say
it once again. His pet sheep.
I'll say it once again. Have a great trip. Make it 1 in a million.
There you go.
Yeah.